Hi, James Clements. Today we're going to concentrate on bid management. I want to talk about how you get your team focused, how you direct them to the solution that you want to achieve at the end of the bid, and then finally, how you go about reviewing and checking that you're going in the right direction as the bid progresses, and then when you get to the end, the final review. So the first thing you want to do when you start off a bid is to get some focus into the team. And you do this by putting together a document like a scope definition document. That way you outline what the scope of work is, what your assumptions are because you might not know all the answers just yet, what your broad strategy is to execute the project, what are the constraints, start, finish, budget, all those type of things. So at least when people start estimating, your buyers go out and get pricing on equipment and materials and so forth, they're all on the same page and they all know the direction you're heading in. This is so important because at the start of a lot of bids, people are so keen to get started, they tend to splinter off into different groups and do their own thing. You need to get the focus, and you do that through a single document that you can distribute amongst all of the players, all of the stakeholders at least. Then if people have got a problem with that, they can come back to you and you can update it. And this scope definition should be continually updated as the bid progresses, assumptions become reality and so forth. Okay, so secondly, it's one thing to get everybody focused, but then it's another thing to get them headed in the same direction so that you're going to get the proposal to put on the table to your client that you actually want. And you do this by developing a bid strategy. How are you going to win it? What are you going to offer? What's your competitive advantage? How are you going to communicate this to the client? And what are the benefits of your offer? So you do that, as I said, through a bid strategy document, and that would also contain your win themes. Now your win themes are the messages that you want your authors, writers, and other people to relay to the client on a consistent basis throughout the document so that all the documents are homogenized and reading in the same way and giving the same message. And that should be focused on the benefits of your offer, not the features of your offer. A lot of people get mixed up between features and benefits. What you've got to ask yourself with the client, what's in it for me? So the client will say, what's in it for me? Answer that question and you've got to come up with the benefits. And this is vitally important so that they can see why they should pick you over somebody else. So what I've found in a lot of bids is that people go off and start doing work, and it's very difficult to work out exactly what they're doing. You say to them, give me a copy of the document you're writing or something, but quite often, there's a lot of ideas floating around, there's a lot of drafts floating around, and there's nothing really for you to grab hold of and check whether it's going in the right direction or not. So what you need to do at the start of that bid is to put a review and approval and a checking process in place right at the start. Now, one of the best things to do is a storyboard review where you get the author of a document, say an author's writing your executive summary or your project management plan or your engineering management plan, and he has to document what his messages are going to be, what his content is going to be, and he has to show you how he's rolling in those win themes, how he's highlighting the benefits. So before he even starts authoring, you make sure that he's got the messages right and he's got the content right and his scope is correct and so forth. So a storyboarding review is a very good process before people get too far down the track, that you can check whether everything's going in the right direction. Because one of the problems is if you get a month down the track and you realize that author is way off target, it's very hard to recover from that. The other thing you should be doing is continually reviewing. If you want that project to have a successful outcome at the end of the day, you need to be checking that the schedule, the estimate, the engineering is all being done correctly. So the way to do that is to set up a peer review process. A lot of the times the business development proposals and bid teams sitting isolated from your actual project execution people. So what you should do is set up a series of reviews where the project execution people come in and undertake a peer review of what your bid team is doing. Now, this might be uncomfortable for people, but it's got to be done. Those people understand the quirks of the projects, they understand the quirks of the client usually, so it's good to get them to give their feedback and so forth. So set up a peer review process, get your project execution, project management people to come in and check the schedule, check the estimate, get your engineers to check that the engineering management plan that's being developed is correct. That way, again, no surprises at the end of the bid. So do those things, run that storyboarding review process, run an ongoing review and approval program. You should be reviewing just like you're reviewing during a project, because you are establishing in the bid the contract, the scope, the schedule and the budget. There can't be 4 more important documents than those in a project, so you need to get them right during the bid.